walking down the streets. There's monkeys all over the place. All right, today I'm at Sabarmati Ashram, which is a place here in Ahmedabad, the biggest city in all of Gujarat, that has a huge association with Gandhi, as you can see here. So we're gonna go inside, learn about this place a little bit. I don't really know very much. I didn't read about it because I wanted to learn while I was here. So let's check it out. So the reason that Gandhi set up here in Ahmedabad, as explained by these signs, is because he actually was Gujarati himself. So he already spoke the Gujarati language. So it was easier for him to communicate, as well as they were really big on hand spinning and creating stuff that way, which is something that he was very well known for doing. So this place has actually had a lot of famous foreign visitors come from both sides of the political spectrum, I would say, all the way from, Xi Jinping, Hillary Clinton, and Nelson Mandela to the other side of the political spectrum of people like Narendra Modi and even the Queen of England. So in this gallery, they have paintings from different points in Gandhi's career as a advocate for freedom and equality of India, and also equality within India for the people, like the one behind me about a intercaste marriage. So that was another one of the big things that he did for the country. This gallery is a photo gallery of different photos, different stages of Gandhi's life as he grew up, starting from youth and progressing throughout his life. So one thing I didn't know was he actually started his advocacy while he was still in South Africa. He went to South Africa, he was with the British military there when they fought against the Zulus and against the Boers, but he ended up starting his sort of his push for equality in South Africa. So behind me, this is kind of a chart talking about this specific place and how it was established and what happened in its lifetime, basically. But you can see it actually was kind of established in 1917, but there was stuff already happening before that. But it goes all the way only until the 1930s, so I guess within his lifetime, the things that had happened. One thing I wasn't expecting here at the Gandhi Ashram is, which is like a nickname that people are calling it, is Gandhi Ashram. That's how my driver called it when I came here. But yeah, there's a beautiful garden with a really nice view of the river, which I really appreciate. It's very cool to see that. So directly behind me, in this area that's dirt right now, is where they do morning and evening prayers, and it's a place that Gandhi actually gave a lot of sermons. This is where he would preach from very, very often. So this is, if you want to come, there's obviously all of this place he would have walked through, but this is a place that he would have come to for prayer. So if you are Hindu, religious, and you want to kind of stand and be in a place that Gandhi has preached in many times, this is it. This is one of the places. So one thing, obviously it's not super common, but it does happen, is people from the West convert to Indian religions like Hinduism. And this hut is actually the home of a woman from England who ended up converting to Hinduism and coming here, and she actually lived here from 1925 to 1933. She was renamed by Gandhi to Mira, and yeah, this was her hut, this was her place. She was one of his disciples. Obviously this view has changed over the last 100 years, really. It's been about 100 years with all these high rises and bridges and stuff that I'm sure didn't exist, but it's really beautiful still. One thing I will mention about this place is actually the entrance is free. So no matter who you are, you can definitely afford to come and visit. And I think it's worth it. It's a very historic place, especially considering that, I visited other places that Gandhi has been and lived, even like in Mumbai, but this is his homeland. It's not his home city or anything, but it is Gujarat, where he's from. This is where he would have probably felt a lot more comfortable and a lot more at home with his own sort of people. I think that's all going to be all from here. I hope you guys enjoyed. As you can see, there's many languages written here because many people from all over the world are inspired by Gandhi. They see his nonviolent acts of protest, and it has inspired huge amounts of people all over the world, from the ending of apartheid in South Africa to desegregation in the United States and many other things. He's been a real huge inspiration. Globally, he has made an enormous impact, more than almost any other Indian, I would say. All right, guys, now I'm at the Adalaj stepwell, where it's a well that's very beautiful, and it's just outside of Ahmedabad, so it's a little bit outside of the city, but still worth coming to visit, I think. There's 300 rupees for foreigners to enter. Everything is less, obviously, for Indians, but for foreigners, it's like 300 rupees. So I'm heading down. It looks like it's a pretty good ways down there. It's really beautiful in here too. Like I said, this is outside of the city, so it's a pretty rural area actually, but even still, it's got this extremely beautiful aesthetic. This is the first well like this that I've actually come to visit. There's been a lot of wells in other cities, but I have kind of not gone to them. So this will be the first one that I actually come into and check out. Let's see, different floors. So here it is, we're down to the water. This is it. You can see all the way up. There you go. Now you can see all the way up. There's a really strong smell of guano, bird, and bat poop that you can smell when you come down here. There's actually fish in the water. I can see it. There's something swimming around in there. So that's pretty interesting for how far down it is. Yeah, I think that's gonna probably be pretty much it from here. But it's really beautiful. It's really nice to come and visit, check it out. The way back up. So up here, there's like a beautiful park. You can come relax. There's people, I think, picnicking. These, I think, are tombs. So it's probably a Muslim place because usually they're the only ones who use tombs, I think. But you can see down inside of it from up here. So where we just were, all the way down there. You can't really see anything through this gate, but this would be straight down over the water that we were just at. So my final stop for today here in Ahmedabad will be Shakhi's Roja, which is an old mosque. So go in there, check it out. So these are the tombs of 3 different Shahs that ruled from the 800s to the 900s. Okay, so in the Georgian calendar, whatever, in the 1500s, they were in charge of this area. They were the Shahs here. This is a really beautiful tomb. It's not very crowded. And surprisingly, few people are actually here right now. We'll look around, see this place. So this is the extremely beautiful entry courtyard. There's a lot of flags. I don't know what they're for, these green ones, what they represent. Maybe they're just the city of Ahmedabad. I don't know. I couldn't say. Maybe it's a historical flag. It's a really beautiful flag, whatever it is. It looks like a Central Asian type of flag. So all of this is 650 years old, I was just told. There's an area in there with a tomb where you have to have your head covered when you go and visit it. Yeah, this place is really beautiful. You could tell it's very old. So just walking around, you can... Great mosque. Okay, so I don't know if I'm gonna be allowed to video in the mosque, so I'm gonna enter the mosque and then I'll start videoing again and see if I get stopped. Yeah, this is a really beautiful mosque. Here's the central courtyard. And that's gonna be the interior stuff. But it looks like they have a huge like water cistern, like a well over here that this overlooks. This guy just put his herd of water buffalo into the water right there, if you could see it. Well, this is the actual inside of the mosque. There's not anybody else in here right now, but you can see it's just as beautiful as everywhere else in this place. It's extremely nice. I really like this place. I was surprised the driver who took me here, he didn't even know what it was. So it's a little more off the beaten path, I suppose. But I imagine if you live in Ahmedabad, normally you would have at least known about it, maybe visited even. But that he hadn't, so I guess this isn't, it's in, if you Google just like what to do in Ahmedabad, it's in the list. So it's strange that he didn't know about it. So I was actually lucky enough to find somebody who knew about this place, so they just gave me some information. Right here is the King's Palace, which is where, you know, the king lived. And then over here, next to it, is the Queen's Palace, where the Queen and her entourage lived, and in the mosque that they would have both attended. But it's very interesting. You know, they're right there. The Queen's Palace, he said, is now occupied by like stoners and stuff, like homeless people and drug addicts and all that, which is really unfortunate. But, you know, it is what it is. It happens all over the world. It's too bad it happened to this beautiful historic site.